What's up, y'all? Good morning, good morning. Welcome to the month of August. So, I'm trying something different. I'm probably gonna end up getting a little copyright strike though. It really don't matter. Um, because I'm essentially trying to do here is practice going live and pre-recording content as well as posting shorts. So I'm just trying to practice posting across the board, and I'm just trying to see what they allow me to get away with, because I feel like the only thing I kind of don't like about these platforms is that you can't really 100% be yourself, possibly without getting a copyright strike, and I don't like that, because if I'm showing y'all how I'm budgeting in real life offline, but I'm pressing record, making it live for you guys to really see what I'm doing here. I'm telling you, like, sometimes I really get a little discouraged knowing that, unfortunately, it seems as if a lot of people hate math, hate budgeting, but of course we love money, right? So it's like, unfortunately, I don't want to create. Now, granted, my personality in real life is very boring and mundane. But when it's time for me to have fun and relax, I tend to like to do that with television, music, whatever the case may be. That's how I turn up a little bit. I listen to music or I watch TV. Uh, so in that regard, I'm like, I just created a short. Mind you, let me see what it's doing. Mm-mm-mm. I'm at 846 views on it. And I just gained 2 new subscribers just by changing up my content and showing y'all essentially what that would look like in real life if I actually posted it from that perspective. And it gained a lot of traction. Now, again, I'm gonna be a little risky and try that right now. So, let's go ahead and spin that, because the rent though, right? And it don't matter if you got the money or not, it still do. So we gotta learn how to play the game that in which that's been presented to us based on what's actually going on in real life. Now, because I'm very particular about how I budget, I take it very seriously. So serious that I created a budget that in which is on the public market for sale, right? I'm learning how to operate, how to further promote the sales of this product through advertising and marketing, right? Through content creation, right? So if I want to sit up here and really truly learn how to become an entrepreneur who's starting at the ground level, trying to grow a small business, I have to follow the blueprint. I have to. I don't have no choice. Now, could it be a shortcut? Absolutely. Do I know the shortcut? Absolutely not. So I got to do whatever I feel like is necessary for me to then practice growing that business, right? By offering something of value to the public. So, let's say you're a person who hates budgeting. I'm a person who loves budgeting to the point to where Not only did I create a budget system that helps me budget so seamlessly that I literally can go about my day. I don't have time to be sitting on a computer trying to configure things and figure out what's going on in life, figure out what those extended desires are that I want from this life every day or every week or every month for the rest of my life. When it is very much so true that you can freeze your budget in time and follow it as a guide, use it as a blueprint to further navigate you throughout your journey, which essentially going to make you love budgeting, love having access to a budget because you are using the right system that allows for you to do so. Now, the reason why I don't, or I would never prefer a pen and paper budget, because just like they introduced scrap paper in math, it's only to be used to work out the problem, essentially, come up with the solution, and then we transfer it to what is moving in our society today. Digital, digital, which is why I added on my budget for this month a business expense. I upped the expense to $75 because I have a venture that I want to invest in to see if I can generate some additional capital, right? As well as I added 4 business meetings on the schedule because what I want to do throughout this journey here in the form of creating content is bringing you guys along with me and showing y'all also how I am converting my mind from going from personal to business in real time. So essentially a trial and error period on how to grow a small business, right? Because essentially we're going to have to spend that on something, right? And I don't ever want to train myself in this lifetime to just spend it on bills. We have to learn how to take low, calculated, or high risk in this life to yield the type of results that in which we may be seeking throughout our financial journey. We got to roll the dice. So when I listen to songs such as Spin It, that don't make me feel like, hey, be irresponsible, right? Take my money, and this prompt money, by the way. Take my money, right? And instead of paying a rent, I go spend it so irresponsibly that I even possibly, because of that era, have to turn around and go into debt, credit card debt, because I mismanage my money to pay the rent. Like, I don't know how to explain this, but influencing people who are possibly misguided throughout their journey of life is a very, very dangerous position to be in. Because when I listen to this song, it don't encourage me to go spend my money that I need to pay my bills with on stuff that don't make no logical sense when in regard to the life that I'm currently living. I don't have no extra cash to just be spending in areas that don't make no logical sense to spend in. So why would I put myself in a high risk situation to go into debt for something that I'm probably not even going to care about in the near future? So when I spend money, I look at it as a form of investment towards my overall comfort of life, right? It's asking me to add a Q&A sticker. What did it ask me to do? I can't see. It went away. Let me turn this music down a little bit more, because I might get a copyright strike anyways. But hey, we risking it today. We taking a risk today. But anyways, so I'm sitting here like, one thing my father asked was, what are the 3 things that you can do with money? I'm like, I don't know what. And mind you, he asked this when I was a youth. I don't know, spend it, I guess. I.e., the title of this song. So I'm like, okay, what intrigued me? He like, spend, save, and invest. And when I thought about it as an adult, that's an extension of what led me to create this budget system. Because sometimes we have to shift our way of thinking to really truly understand what the error is. So I believe that spending and saving is the most dangerous words or high risk terms that you can put next to investing. The most dangerous. Which is why I believe that most people have a spending problem. Because we are taught that the 3 things that we can do with money is spend, save, and invest. I'm going to tell you the problem with both of them and how I created 3 new ways or 3 new things that you can do with money. Starting with spending. So, spending is so dangerous, again, that millions of people have a spending problem. Because of the term in extension to the act in itself. We get money. We feel like we work hard for this money, and because it's our money, we get to make the decision, the adult-like decision to spend it however we so choose. Wrong. Now, the way I envision a budget is, hey, it's a personalized view of an investment portfolio. It's a personalized view of what an investment portfolio could look like. The only difference is we're not generating any compounded interest on this personalized view through the budget, because we have not quite aligned how it correlates with investing because of the term spending. So I said, what if I replace that word with generate, right? So the first thing we can do with money is generate it. So now we're thinking and operating like a business. We're generating capital to fund what? Our cost of living expenses and or the cost to operate a small business. Generate. And what if we then replace the word save with manage? Managing the capital that was generated through our W-2, 1099, etc. i.e. becoming a good steward of our money, right? We got to learn how to do this stuff through learning how to manage what was generated. And we never replace the invest term, because through understanding the first two stages of what we can do with money, generate and manage it, by default, through that perspective, we're then able to have a level of clarity needed to see how much additional funding was generated over a specific duration of time so that we can further manage or allocate funds in areas that can generate additional streams of revenue, i.e. compounding the interest in our favor, to eventually create a new form of wealth, or a form of wealth for ourselves at all, which then could turn into generational wealth over time if we do it right. But if we scared to make these investments because we don't even understand fully what that term means, that we so stuck on spending and or saving, right? We miss out the true opportunity of what it really means, what it truly means to invest. Because rumor has it, what is recommended or suggested is that we invest in what? 3 things, right? Real estate, a business, or stocks. But mind you, Warren Buffett said what? Never invest in something you don't understand. But yet we doing this on a frequent basis, on a personal level, minus even having a budget in place. And we wonder why we then have a spending problem. Why the extended rumor is most of us don't even have $500 to $1,000 saved to cover an emergency. How is that a reality when all the information needed for us to become great with money already exists? It already exists. So with that information, I literally researched the market to the tune of creating a budget with every type of short or long-term investment that in which I may project to fund over the duration of my financial journey to ensure I avoid a possible financial collapse throughout that journey. Because I don't know about you, I don't have no money to just be spending in areas that don't make no sense for me to spend in. I need to have a structured plan in regards to how I spend. Because if I do it incorrectly, I will not have any access funds to save nor invest. I won't be doing it in this lifetime. It just won't be happening. Because I'm so fixated on spending, my brain won't even allow for me to fully register how to save or invest. Dangerous. So if I leave you with anything here today, I want you to learn how to generate as much funding from the market as possible, whether via your W-2, 1099, etc., right? From there, I want you to learn how to manage any funding generated from the market through the form of a budget. You can check the link down in the description box below. And finally, I want you to do whatever it takes to learn how to finally understand what it means to invest, whether in real estate, business, or stocks, to give yourself a true opportunity to generate wealth that you possibly never envisioned that you would be able to generate in this lifetime. And with that being said, don't spend that in areas that you don't need to be spending in. Let's make sure we cover that rent for the month of August. Let's stay focused this month. With that being said, because I just restructured my budget, it seems as if I have gym scheduled on the calendar today, so I got to get up out of here. I have to then use the extended investments that I made to focus on my health. So I'm finna get up out of here. Again, rent is paid. So now we have the clarity needed to do anything else we need to do in this life with less stress, because we minimize the risk, because we were calculated in our moves. We generated the capital needed to pay the rent. Now that the rent is secured, now we can focus on other ventures listed throughout the budget. Again, which you can check down in the description box below. So I have to go to the gym. We have a business expense coming up in the near future. We also have a business meeting on the 8th. All right. So I guess with that being said, I'll check back in with you guys and let you know how my investment strategy is going through having the leverage needed from this budget, which I can then take with me anywhere with no issue. I'm able to utilize the investments that I made. And let's just say, don't quote me, I'm utilizing these investments from the way that in which they were intended to be used. Learning how to perceive, how to operate as a small business with writing off these investments. I'm just saying, if we're going to learn how to do something, we have to learn how to do it right. And we do that by starting on a personal side of the scale, learning how to operate as a small business. And through that learning curve, will then open up the opportunities needed to possibly generate additional streams of revenue that will essentially grow our wealth portfolio, because we're making those investments through time, knowledge, and money. So with that being said, peace. I'll see y'all in the next one.